money and the fame. Get it out the concrete, that's how we made the name. Bow down, kiss the ring. Wear my flaws like a crown, that's why they call me the king. All about the power and the money and the fame. Get it out the concrete, that's how we made the name. Bow down, kiss the ring. Wear my flaws like a crown, that's why they call me the king. K-I-N-G, yeah, they gon' envy. I'm still street, you get the beats like an MP. Still saying 10T, low to my Benji. Dirt all on my boots, all on my heels like a NC. I was
Man. Hey, that's the intro right there, baby. Hey, boy Rajeen, that was my boy, the Real Justice, coming in. Hey, bow down to the king, baby. So, hey, it's your boy Rajeen, a.k.a. the King of Romance. I got my co-host with me.
What's going on, y'all? Good evening. It's the man, your man. We got one.
Man, hey, we got Mr. Timothy O'Bon in the house, man. Oh, my God. It's about to go down. Y'all clap it up for Mr. Timothy O'Bon. Man. Hey, welcome, man. Tell the people about yourself, man. Let them know. Man.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. First of all, James, thanks for having me on the show. Real Justice, I appreciate the opportunity to come on, talk about books, talk about publishing. I really love the whole notion and the whole idea of Black Men's Ink. Actually, it's kind of funny when years ago, I wanted to start a magazine called Black Ink, and I never got it going, but when I saw you, when I saw this, I was like, that's right on point.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on here, man.
yeah. So that's when I reached out to you. I was like, yeah, I want to be on the show. But yeah, no, man, my name is Timothy Bond, founder and CEO of True Vine Publishing Company. I believe everybody should write a book. And I believe that you should do so because you should write your name on the guest book of life, man. Like, you don't need to leave this world without letting people know that you were here. And a lot of times people don't want to write books because they feel like they're not experts or they feel like they're not scholars. But you don't need to be an expert on everything to write a book. You just need to be an expert on your experience. Everyone has a unique experience that can touch somebody's life. And I truly believe as my podcast talks about the right change, I believe writers change the world. I believe that if you can change one person's life, you don't know the impact that one person could have on the world. You think about Martin Luther King, you think about any of the world-changing individuals. These were individual people who changed the course of the world. And guess what? They all read books that changed their perspective. And so as writers, we literally can change the world one person at a time. And that's why I believe everyone should write a book. I'm very passionate about that. And I'm very passionate about helping independent authors so that we can all grow and have control of our, control of our income, control of our intellectual property. And so that's what we do at True Vine Publishing.
Man, that's all right, man. There you go. Hey, so hey, I'll tell you like this, and I know my man Justice can speak the same, man. It's just like when I wrote my first book, which was back in September. Like I said, it wasn't something I felt like I could do. I mean, let me not say that. I can say it wasn't something that I've always tried. I set out to do. You know what I'm saying? I never said, oh man, one day I'm gonna write a book.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you like this. Like, if it wasn't for spell check and Google, I would have never made it. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel what you're saying, man. I feel like everybody, even if you're, because since I've written my book, I've talked to other people and they're like, man, I got an idea for a book. I want to write a book.
Yeah.
I do it.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is get in there and do it. Like, it's just like, like Nike say, just do it. I mean, just start typing. Once you start typing, you'll get there.
What I appreciate about what you said, man, is that you did it, right? Yeah. So many people don't even want to take the steps because of fear. They're afraid that because they can't see what the next step is, they don't even take a step. And I say it all the time, your opportunities in life are like those electronic doors, man, at the grocery store. They're not going to open up until you come close, right? They're not going to open up until you take the steps to let the door know, hey, I want to come through.
True.
Now, I would not be a publisher today had I not taken that one step of deciding to write my first book of poetry, right? I decided I'm going to write a book of poetry. I didn't want to go through the normal steps of trying to find an agent, which takes years, that agent trying to find a publisher, which takes years. True. And then finally, after you do find a publisher, it's going to take another 18 months before they even put your book out. I didn't want to go through all of that.
Yeah.
Right? I worked for a publishing company when I came out of college. I understood the business. I decided I'll just create my own company name. I'll put that on my books to give my book a little credibility. And after doing that, putting out the book, people just started coming to me, right? Yeah. Now, did I start that company thinking eventually I'm going to be publishing authors across the globe? No. Yeah. I just took the one step. I didn't know the opportunities that were beyond that one step. And so a lot of people are afraid to write a book because they think that the ultimate example of book success is becoming a New York Times bestseller. That's what people think. But that's not what success in book writing is. Success to me is, have you been able to reach people with a message that can change their lives?
True.
You do that, you're going to open up other opportunities, coaching, creating your own publishing company, becoming a speaker. Like, there's so many other opportunities that come from writing a book.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times people don't understand or they don't know their talent until they face it. You get what I'm saying? And like for me, I've always written poetry. I've written poetry and it was natural. It wasn't something I studied. It was something I practiced. It was just something I had naturally, as a kid. And then growing up, you kind of find the artist in you. You get what I'm saying? So, I had a real good friend of mine some years ago, and he asked me, he said, "Hey man, can you teach me how to write poetry?" And I was like, "Man, that's not something I can teach you." You know what I'm saying? Because no one taught me. It came from within. It was a talent. It was a talent that God gave me. Yeah. I'm not saying that somebody who, doesn't have that talent cannot write poetry. I mean, at some point in time, as a young man, I was a rapper. Every young man from 20 years, 30 years, 40 years from, ever since hip hop came out, wanted to be a rapper. So, and like I said, rap is just basically poetry, in motion.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So as a rapper, I exceeded because I love lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to my man Justice. Like I tell him all the time, I bump him in my truck like he's Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I don't know if you heard me, but the one who was rapping when we first came on, that was my boy. Now that's you. That was Jay. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, as I'm into lyrics, you get what I'm saying? And this cat, I need something that's going. I guess it's a person that's more intellectual. You want something to stimulate your mind instead of all this new stuff that's kind of, it's catchy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's catchy. But when you grew up listening to rappers like, Jay-Z, Nas, Common, these type of cats that's really putting something on paper, right? You know what I'm saying? Then you know what I'm saying? So I say all to say this, people got to find their talent. Like once you find your talent, and once you step into that door and it opens, like for me, when I wrote the book, so much stuff opened up. When I wrote the book, I did my first interview with the founder of Black Girls Inc., Barbie Hall, and she opened up other doors for me. You know what I'm saying? I definitely give it up for Barbie Hall. She opened up other doors for us.
Right.
And she's younger than us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like her vision is so, and not saying what I'm saying, the reason why I say she's younger than us is because, for somebody her age to have a vision, have a goal that's so big, you want to be a part of it.
Right.
Because, I can tell my wife all the time, my wife to be, whatever, I like, if you don't have a goal, if you're not walking towards something, if you're not looking at a destination, how you know where to go?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, for somebody like her, who has this dream, and you know what I'm saying, her dream is so big. Sometimes we got to slow her down. You know what I'm saying? Because she's doing big things.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think I'm slowing it down because of her. I think I'm slowing it down because of me, because it's hard for me to keep up. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to keep
up. Back, like,
yeah.
Hold on,
hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the way. Like I'm tired. I'm body weary. But like you said, man, I like everything you're doing, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
I like everything. So I don't know if Justin's got any questions yet, but I really want to know, like I know the name of your book. It was I think I posted it already. One of your books was called Fall in Love with the Struggle.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about that. You know what I'm saying? Like where that came from.
Justin, you see Justin's face?
Yeah, I know. Hey, when he looked like that, he want to know. It struck something. It struck something in him.
Yeah.
So,
Do tell, sir.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you what. That is a lesson. That book, Fall in Love with the Struggle, I'm very proud of it, but it was a lesson in two factors. It was a lesson in a good way of how to set your mind on a goal and bring it to pass. It was also a lesson in marketing, because that name kind of gets the reaction that Justice just gave. Like, what? Fall in love with the struggle. When it comes to products, people want to feel good, right? But Fall in Love with the Struggle is a feel good book, but it's truth to the fact that the struggles that we endure are good things, right? Justice, you look like you probably played football, or both of y'all look like y'all probably played ball, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you all found working out and the training for that was a struggle, was it not?
Yeah,
still is.
But would you?
Yeah, right.
But at some point, you guys had to fall in love with that struggle because you had a bigger goal, right? You had a bigger goal. And so what this book is about is how do we tap into that part of the brain to understand that the things that we're going through, although they are struggles for us, they're struggles for our benefit. They're struggles for our good. A lot of times I think people don't understand, like, we all have purpose. All of us have purpose. God has a purpose for every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go through different struggles, it's not to crush you, it's to build you up.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't been through the struggles that other people have, okay? I'm not going to pretend that I've been through, abusive parents or drug addiction. I've not been through every struggle, but everybody has their own cross to bear, right? Yeah. And so you have a lot of people who are giving up on life because they think that the struggles they're enduring is to their end. It's to their detriment. But I wanted people to know, hey, this is going to take you to a better place. When I wrote this book, I had just lost my job, my career job, right? For no reasons of my own. I can't even talk about it because I took it to court. And so part of our settlement was, we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
But
that's the struggle.
Right. That's the struggle, right? And I'm sitting at home. I'm sitting at home. And it was a couple of days where I'm like almost hyperventilating because I'm like, what am I going to do? And then it hit me, write this book. And when I tell you, and you guys have probably experienced it, when you got a rap, right, Justice, do you ever have a rap, or Rajim, do you ever have a poem that just pops like that? And you got, like, it's a freaking 5-page poem, but for some reason you knew every word.
Yep.
From beginning to end, right?
It's like a faucet. It's like somebody turned on a faucet.
Right. And that's what happened with this book. It was like, write this book. And for 30 days straight, I made this book my job. This was my job to write this book. So for 8 hours a day, 30 days straight, I was working on this book. And I finished this book in 30 days, man.
Oh, wow.
Now, what happened next was We all have that moment where you feel like, oh, this ain't good, man. Nobody's gonna read this, and so I put it off for a year.
Oh man.
Picked it back up, read it again. Now I was still publishing books at this time, so actually my business had taken off. God is always if I'm not working, man, that's when business starts coming. People want to publish books. So I've never been afraid to lose a job because I know I've always had this stream as well. So now I do this full time. Anyway, I'm off.
That's
Picked the book back up, and had an amazing book signing release party, man. I sold thousands of dollars worth of books before I even printed the book. And these are some lessons that I learned, right, about publishing books and marketing books that I wouldn't have learned the other way. And now I can help other people do the same because I had to go through that. So those struggles that I went through have helped me become the person that I am today. So that's why I say,
man,
it may not sound good. It may make you, have a face like Justice just had. But when you look at it and you really understand it, you will understand what I mean when I say fall in love with the struggle.
Man, hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. You kind of put me in. So I would say about right before the pandemic. No, let me say the end of 2019. Let's go there. Before the pandemic, I went through something similar. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know it, but the people who know me knew this. I end up, like I said, I lost one of my career jobs at the time, and I was getting out of a relationship on somebody who I was actually living with. So I found myself, and it's funny, but it's funny now because it's funny. I came a long way since then, but I found myself homeless and jobless on the same day.
Wow.
And it was my faith in God is so strong that when I walked out of my the project manager's office and walked to my truck, sat in the truck and bust out laughing. Literally just bust out laughing. Because I couldn't believe I was homeless and jobless on the same day.
Right.
And I'm like, so what I do is I like, hey, God, what I'm saying? What we gonna do now? I talked to like one of my boys, like this is funny. What we gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an issue now. But I never got to the point where it scared me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I did a little blog, and it was a one-time thing, just a little quick blog, a quick video on the bounce back. We talked about the bounce back. When you know how to handle struggle, you know how to bounce back. You get what I'm saying? Once you've been through it, and you know how to bounce back. So what happened was I went from being homeless to living in a high-rise apartment downtown Orlando within 5 months. Wow. Had a job that paid me double what I was making in my other job. And so when you say God got a plan for you, I never get nervous.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I can walk on my job tomorrow and they'd be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We don't need you no more.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then that means God got a plan for me.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, when you say embrace the struggle, I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know how to, because a lot of people would have committed suicide. A lot of people would have broke down.
Look, you would have got that high rise and then jumped out.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? 16 floors.
Right.
But the bounce back is this. If you keep your faith, and you know how to handle the struggle, you get what I'm saying? Once you know how to handle that struggle and know that God, hold on, my dog feel like he need to get out of the room. Hold on for 1 second.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Somebody just let him out. My bad. So once you realize that God got you, and that's one of my favorite quotes. God got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You either believe it or you don't, man.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to either you're gonna stand up or you're just gonna lay there. Oh, and that was part of my bounce back because I told people, I was like, if you take a basketball, you know what I'm saying, and you bounce it from 16 floors up and you hit the ground, it's gonna hit the ground hard. But if it bounce back up, it's gonna make it 16 floors back up. Right, but if you just go flat and you lay there,
right,
that's where you're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? If you throw a ball to the ground flat, it's gonna lay there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going, and that means you got no bounce back. That means you're always gonna be at the bottom, and you're never gonna get where you're trying to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I commend you on this book. I definitely got to get a copy of this book, man, for real.
Yeah.
So,
I'm selling on ebook now. I'll be honest. I have some copies here. You know, you transcend from level to level. I don't know about you, but if I could sell the amount of work it takes me to sell one of my books, if I can help somebody else create a book and they sell thousands of books, I benefit from that as well. So I was like, you know what? Let me focus my attention on publishing other people.
yeah. I got you.
It's hard. Y'all know it. Y'all know it's hard.
Oh yeah. Like it ain't no joke because, like you said, writing the book was easy. Go ahead.
That's what I want to get into, honestly, because you're first of all, a black man.
Yeah.
That said, you know what? Not only am I going to write a book, I'm not going to ask y'all to put this together. I'm going to put this out.
Right.
How now some people are very adamant about giving out the blueprint.
Yeah.
And I feel that's what's wrong with us as a people.
Yeah.
Because we as a people coined the phrase, the game is sold, not told.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's also what's keeping us back.
Yeah.
Because I'm a different character. If I know something, I'm going to give it to someone that can benefit from it. I'm not going to count to my pros with swine. I'm going to give it to somebody that can benefit from it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying all that to say this. First of all, let me just, what you said when you said fall in love with the struggle, it resonated with me because my favorite phrase is the strongest bonds are the bonds that are forged in the fires of adversity and struggle. Once you fall in love with your bondage, once you fall in love with holding you down, it's no longer something that's holding you down. It's something that's holding you together.
Right.
See, we sit back and we look at things that hold us down. Once you fall in love with it, you realize it's holding you together.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, yeah.
I see. I heard.
Once you fall in, and so when you said fall in love with the struggle, I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
But what I want to get into, as much as you want to get into it, like, first of all, True Vine, how'd you come up with the name? Secondly, what were the steps? Was it a financial thing? Is there a paywall? Like, what made you say, you know what? I'm gonna get me a publishing company. Like, what was the process?
Yeah, man. No, I'm an open book, man. I strongly believe this. There is infinite opportunity in this world. So I'm not gonna hold back a blessing that was a blessing to me for fear that somebody else may have the same ambition and do it themselves. Right?
Okay.
If they got that ambition to go out there and grind and put their own publishing company together, I'm not gonna hold them back. So they're gonna get it from me or they're gonna get it from somebody else. Either way, we all get to grow together, right? So I'm not the type of person gonna hold somebody back. I also understand there are also people who don't want to do all of that work, right? If that wasn't the case, restaurants would not exist. Fast food restaurants would not exist. Right?
Yeah.
If that was the case, restaurants wouldn't exist because everybody would say, why am I going to pay you $50 for a steak? I make my own steak.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Real
I don't care if you know what I did, right? I don't care. So, here's the thing, man. My father, my mother were entrepreneurs. My father, I remember one day my father said, he called me to the room. He said, hey, go get my briefcase for me. I went and got his briefcase for me. And he said, how much do I owe you? And I said, what? Yeah, I'm a little kid. Your daddy tell you to go do something, you go do it.
Yeah.
He wanted to teach me a lesson today. He says, how much do I owe you? I said, I don't know. He said, you never do anything for free. You always, you can always make your own money, or you know what I'm saying? So the lesson he taught me was that you can create income for yourself by solving people's problems, by doing things for people. So I've always had that mindset. that I'm going to create my own business, right? That's just how we were raised in my household. All of my brothers are entrepreneurs. My brother's a lawyer in DC. And two of my older brothers are in real estate, and then one is a digital marketing brander. So we all have that mindset, right? So when I wrote my poems and I was ready to publish, like I said, my mindset was I'm not gonna go and try to find somebody else to do it for me. I'll do it for myself. That's just the way I was raised. Now, what I did to become a publishing company, first of all, it's just not about becoming a publishing company, right? You can go down to your local government, building and fill out your paperwork for business licenses and call yourself a publishing company, right? So, I mean, that's not the issue. The issue is about the quality of service that you provide people. So I, of course, like I told you, was my first client, and I had already made connections and networked with industry professionals because I worked in a publishing company. And so when I put out my book, it was a professional book. I took my book to Borders bookstore when I first brought it out, and they bought 4 books on the spot. Now, maybe they were just doing a young, stupid kid a favor, and buying books on the spot. But there are some criteria that bookstores have to have, right? You have to have, your spine has to be right. The measurements of the design have to be right. You have to have your barcode. You have to have certain things. And so for them to say, we'll buy 4 copies right there on the spot meant I had checked off all those boxes, right? And so a lot of times what you'll see when you see some self-published books or some of these books that, you download on Amazon, you'll see you open it up and the layout is terrible, or, it's errors all in it. And so it's just not about putting a book out, right? It's about creating a product that when people pick it up, they're happy to read it. They're getting a good read and it's pleasing to the eyes. Like all of that is a part of it. And so I was blessed to have had that opportunity to work in the industry for a publishing company as an editor, go through all of those steps and learn the business. So that's how I got into it.
Okay.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man, honestly. And like you said, man, it don't sound like it's easy.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Everybody would do it.
I'll say this. After 17 years of doing this, what I realized is not about the book. I've published books for Ivy League, professors, and I've published books for ex-drug dealers who didn't have any education, right? And now I'm not putting anybody on levels. I just want to show you the difference.
No, I understand wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And so you probably know where I'm going with this. Who do you think hustled the hardest and sold more books? Right?
Definitely. They just want their story told.
Right. So it's not about, I don't freak out, and this may sound bad. I don't freak out when I see a book that has an error in it. I don't. Because most likely the message is more relevant and more important than that little misspelled word, right? The value that's in that book is more important to me than, oh, there's a comma right here that shouldn't be. I don't care about a comma. I don't care about that comma. I bought a book that was $15. This book had about 10 pages in it, but this book changed the way I did business. And because of this book, I make more money, right? So I'm not going to freak out about, oh, is my book 1,000 pages or, oh, this whole perfection thing. I feel like when people get like that, it's out of fear. They're afraid. And so they don't want to do anything until it's perfect. I'm always pushing people, jump head in. Like, you're going to learn to swim eventually. Let's do something though, right? Let's do something and learn the process as you go. And so that's what I try to help people with is not just putting out a book. Anybody can become an author. How do you become a successful author? Right? That's the question.
Exactly.
How do you become a successful author? How do you learn how to market your book? How do you figure out who your reader is? The worst thing, I'm gonna throw out a little game, as Jay-Z say, I'm gonna give you $1 million game for 99 cents or whatever he said.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, how do you, when people tell me, I ask them, I said, who's your target audience? Well, anybody can. My book is for everybody. Guess what I'm thinking in my head?
No, it's not.
Going nowhere. Going nowhere. That's like, your book cannot be for everybody. You need a bullseye target. Bullseye. All the value on the dartboard is in that little bitty bullseye in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's the smallest and the hardest target to hit, but that's where the value is. And so a lot of people fail with books because they've not taken the time to figure out who is that one person that I'm writing this book for. You can figure that out. I promise you, there are millions of people like that one person who needs your book.
That was perfect.
Hey, I'm taking notes. You know I'm taking notes, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm taking notes.
Right.
I'm gonna need, because I need some marketing pointers from my book. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a new author. You know what I'm saying? But like, hey, every time I interview somebody, I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, man. That's what it's about, man. It's about figuring out who needs your book and what problem does your book solve. When you can figure that out, it's easy.
Funny. The funny part that you say that about what problem your book solves is, for example, for me, one of my favorite businesses of all time. Like I've owned probably about 4 or 5 businesses myself, and as an entrepreneur, I watch other industries. I watch other companies, and one of my favorite companies, and I think it's basically pimping on a whole nother level, is Uber. Yep. Uber and Lyft. Anybody who can make you drive your own car to pick up somebody else and then you pay them for doing it is an assassin. You know what I'm saying? It's like you. So what you're telling me is I'm gonna get in my own car, go drive, pick this person up, drop them off, and I'm gonna pay you.
I'm gonna pay you 20% of that.
That's genius. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's genius. Yeah. I don't care what nobody say. That's genius. They created a database. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all they did was put you and me in contact. Right. That's it. They put you and I in communication.
Yep.
Like, so I know Rajeen need a ride, and Timothy got a car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect them, and they're gonna pay me 20%.
Right.
That's tipping on a whole nother level.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
That's the beauty of value, though, man. You know, like, I can appreciate that. Because in essence, that's what I do as a publisher. That's what Amazon does, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Amazon is knocking people over the head.
They're
taking 40-50% off of book sales.
Man.
Right? But it's the convenience that they're offering. Oh yeah, just download your book here, and we'll print it up for you. We'll do all of that. It costs them pennies, but they're taking 40%, man. I'm telling you. But hey, it's the business.
Hey, like I said, it's like, if you know the game, that's pretty much the game. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they got the game on lock.
Right.
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? It's like UPS can't keep up. The United States Post Service can't keep up. It's like they got the game on lock.
Right.
Man. Anyway, man, like I said, I definitely, you know what I'm saying, admire what you're doing. I'm taking notes because, like I said, I don't know if Jess is taking notes, but I'm taking notes on this marketing thing because I need to get my book out there. Yeah. You know, I'm in a situation to where every day I'm on YouTube. Every day I'm reading some article about marketing this book. Yeah. You know, I'm riding down the street, I'm just listening. Okay, this is what I need to do about getting the book out there.
Yeah.
You know, because, and then I hear people, I've interviewed people, I've listened to other people on our affiliate show on Black Girls Inc. Somebody, I sold thousands of copies. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get in the hundreds, and y'all selling thousands of copies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing something right, but you know, I truly believe that if you watch, you learn. And a lot of times you got to put your pride to the side. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know anything about book marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times as men, and I can say as black men, we have this pride to where, you know what I'm saying? For example, we'll go to IKEA, you'll buy a bookshelf in the box, pour it on the ground, won't read the instructions the next.
What instructions?
Put it together. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Well, we got that pride. And as soon as your wife be like, you need instructions? No, I got this. I got this. You know what I'm
That's an extra screw they put in. I don't need that screw.
Until your TV fall on the ground.
Right.
Then you
got 50 extra screws. They don't know where they went.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But that pride will get you every single time, man. So I hope whoever watching this, y'all taking notes. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Put the pride to the side, because that's what we're here for. You know, we put a platform for people to learn and people to promote themselves, but people of color to put themselves out there, man, because this is awesome.
I can throw this in real quick, Rajim, man. Actually, it's very interesting that the two book titles that I'm promoting here actually go hand in hand with what you're talking about. When it comes to book selling, book marketing, let me say this. There is no wrong way to market your book. Because in my opinion, what is marketing? Marketing is getting people's attention about your product. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times people are like, they're not doing anything because they can't figure out that right way to do it.
Yep.
So if your house is on fire, are you gonna yell? You gonna run outside and think, okay, what's the best way to get people's attention? I could send an email. I could text a few people. Your house is terrible. Right? You gonna go outside. What you gonna do? You gonna go outside and you gonna start yelling, "Help me! House is fire!" Right?
Somebody call the fire department. We got a problem.
Right. And so when it comes to book marketing, same thing. What do you need to do to get people's attention?
Yeah.
Quit all this whole thing about being fancy, man. In the old days, what they had, the little newspaper guy, he was out there, you know, get your paper. There wasn't no internet.
Yeah. And that's how we sell CDs back in the day. You had your little demo.
You on the street.
Sell it in your backpack.
Right.
Yeah.
And somehow, because of computers, we've kind of gotten fancy with it, but nothing has changed. Get people's attention any kind of way you can. I see so many people that's like, I don't know how to market my book. I look at their social media page and they got selfies. You got a book.
Talk, Tim.
Yeah.
You got a book. Why do I see more selfies than I see information about your product?
Yeah.
Right? And then we say, well, it takes money to make money. No, it does not take money to make money. It takes ideas. It takes ideas to make money.
Get them.
All right. I started my publishing company with what? With Microsoft Word, man. I started my company with Microsoft Word. My second book, Fall in Love with the Struggle. Let me tell you what I did. I created a ticket. All right. I created a ticket and I put my book cover. I created my book cover and I created a ticket. And I said, I'm going to have a book signing party. It's $20. $5 gets you into the party. $20, $15 gets you the book. I didn't have one book printed. I wrote out a list of 150 people and I targeted every one of them. And I raised over $3,000 before I even had my book printed. I had sold 150 books before the book was printed. I paid for the books. I paid for the location. I paid for the DJ. I paid for some people to come and from out of town. And so it don't take money to make money. It takes an idea and it takes some belief in what you have. So when it comes to marketing, I done got on the soapbox. But my other book is the 5 practices of successful and lucrative authors. The 5 looking real Justin.
I was on. I would hear this shit.
Yeah. So my other book is the 5 practices of successful and lucrative authors. And what I do is I just break down the 5 core things that authors do. So everybody go on the website and get it. It's free. And that's I probably spelled that wrong. It's truevinepublishing.org/5 practices. Okay. But go on there and get it. But it breaks down 5 core things that successful and lucrative authors do. Right?
Okay.
When I talk to an author and I say, how do you want to sell the book? And an author tells me, well, doesn't the publisher do that? I know immediately this book is going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's going nowhere because nobody can promote your book like you can. Nobody will promote your book like you can. And so if you don't believe in your book enough to go out and push the book, guess what? I don't care who you have asked to go do it. Nobody's going to push that book the way you should. So, so in that book, the 5 practices of successful and lucrative authors, then you're going to find out those 5 core things that, you know, every author needs to understand and they need to do in order, if you really want to be successful, you need to do these 5 things. So, again, it's misspelled on there, but I want to, it's truevinepublishing.org/5 practices.
Hold on, let me go back.
Is it the number 5 or is it just
The number
FIVE?
5. The number 5.
That's what it got.
It's got it's missing the I after the L in publishing. That .com on the end.
I wonder who did that.
Yeah, see, that's the editor in me coming out. That's the editor in me coming out.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I got
Tim, like, do you, the people that you publish, do you have a like a proofreader for them, or do you have them proofread their own work? Like, do you have like a staff that proofreads the material that bring you the boss? So do you have someone who brings it to you? And what are your criteria as far as what you will publish and what you won't publish?
Good question. Great questions.
Thank
So
you.
I do have a network. I have a network of people, corporations, companies that I work with. I provide the publishing services. All right. So I'm not your traditional publisher. I'm a publishing consultant. So essentially, I work for the author. Whereas the traditional companies, the traditional publishing companies, that advance that they give them, that means they own the book now. So if you want apples and they want oranges, then they can take your book and turn it into whatever they want.
Exactly.
So as a consultant, I provide the services to my clients to make their dream a reality. Okay. So when it comes to content, what I usually say is if I'll let my kids read it, then I'll publish it. But I do move more into, if it's motivational, inspirational, empowering, educational, then I'm all over it. I'm all over it.
Man, I got a question for you. As a publisher, as an author, and maybe just as you can chime in on this as well. So, do you feel that a book has a shelf life? So, and what I mean by that is, like, for example, my book dropped last September, right? And it's getting traction. It's not getting as much traction as it should have at this point. But is there a shelf life? Does your book burn out? You know what I'm saying?
So, to my answer to that, I'm gonna play around the block a little bit. Have you all watched The Queen's Gambit on Netflix?
I think I haven't watched it, but I think my wife B has watched. You watched a little bit of that, huh? So, yeah, I think she watched a little bit of that. Yeah.
That movie has gone on to like get awards and whatever, all kind of awards, best
Yeah,
selling.
I seen the award ceremony. They got a lot of awards.
Guess when that book was written? 1983.
Oh wow.
The author died a year later.
Oh wow.
So, do I believe a book has a shelf life? No, I don't. I do believe an author has a shelf life, and that's a chosen shelf life. If you stop grinding, then you chose to expire, right?
Like what you think? Okay.
If you stop grinding, you chose to expire.
Yeah.
You have a book that helps people, then people will need that help, right? Nothing has changed just because it's 2021 and you wrote your book in 2013. That same help that you were providing your clients or your authors or your readers, I'm sorry, is the same help that people need today. Nothing has changed about that. So the only thing that has a shelf life when it comes to being an author is the author. What kind of shelf life do you have for yourself? You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
this is one of the things God said to me when I wrote my book. He said, "You don't have another reason to be broke. There's no. I have a product.
Yeah.
I don't have to get licensing,
and that's why I asked you that question. Yes, I asked you the question for a reason.
It's all on my grind, right? I got this book. If I'm broke, guess what? Let me get it for you. Boom. If I'm broke, I can hit the streets today.
Turn it around.
Sorry. If I'm broke, though, I can hit the streets today and sell this book.
Hey, real talk.
$15. And then I'm not broke no more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Guess what? Here's the funny thing about sales. Most people don't like to say no. So if you are bold enough to say, hey, will you buy my book? If you ask enough people, it's a numbers game. You're gonna get enough yeses to where the sacrifice of your time will be worth it. The problem is most people are scared to get out there and push themselves. Now we'll go work 8 hours a day and get on the phone at a call center and push somebody else's product and get cursed out and get hung up on. And then we got the book sitting at home and we're afraid to make a cold call.
Gotcha.
You see what I mean?
Hey, that's real talk, honestly.
That's real talk.
That's real talk. For real.
We keep ourselves and underperforming and keep ourselves broke.
Yeah, my book is paid like bills. So
yeah. How good? Look, I used to work at a college, man. I used to work at a college as an administrative admissions rep. We call 120 people a day just to get 2 phone calls, just to get 2 people to talk to us, right?
Yeah.
We get hung up on, we get cursed out. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Guess what? When I started doing this for myself, it feels so much better when I close a deal, and I did it for me.
Yeah.
That money goes in my pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Book sales is the same thing. You tell me when this interview is over, because I'll talk to you all day. Book sales is the same thing, man. People think that they're not the same as a door-to-door salesman, but you are.
Yeah.
You need to get out and you need to go door to door if you have to. You need to send DMs to people. Get on LinkedIn and find your audience in LinkedIn and send them a message. Hey, I got a great book that deals with what you're talking about. Would you be interested in buying a copy? Same way you got to hustle for somebody else's job, get out there and hustle for yourself. I promise you, you'll be more fulfilled and a lot more satisfied.
Hey, when I tell you, man, you didn't put fire underneath me right now. I almost cut the interview short so I can go start marketing, but no, man. Hey, that's real talk, man. For real, I appreciate it. So go ahead. Just you was getting ready to say something too.
No, just basically to piggyback off what he said. You said does a book have shelf life? I feel like if your book focuses around 3 things, love, life, or money. Because people love love,
Yep.
people love life, and people love money.
Yep.
So if your book can empower you to do one of those three, fall in love with life, fall in love with money, or fall in love with something else. Like with your book, Roz, like I keep telling you, Coma to me, Coma is like Illmatic, bro. Coma, but I think it's gonna go as far as you bring it. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Tim was saying, you gotta push that. Like I tell everybody about Coma. Like I would love to turn it into a movie. I would, whenever you ready. That's the next step. That's what we gonna do. You know what I mean? And it's hard to be loud in a socially loud world. Social media is already loud. So you have to be louder than the people around you. And that's the hard part. And I applaud you, Tim, honestly, for stepping out and doing what you do. And before you go, I just got one question. I'm pretty sure people want to know, like, what True Vine, where'd it come from? Like, what's the name about?
Bible. Jesus is the true vine, man. When first, well, let me say this as well. I stole it from my big brother. My big brother wrote a newsletter, and he said the True Vine newsletter, right? And so years later, when I started my company, that was still in my heart. And when I think about that scripture that Jesus is the true vine, all things come through the true vine. It helped me to realize that in myself, I can produce nothing. But if I'm going to have a company and I want God to bless it, then I wanted it to be a reflection of Him. And so all my blessings come through Him. And I just really got to the point this year where I really see it, right? There was a point where I thought, if I got a contract, on this day, and then I got a contract on this day, like in my mind, they were separate things. But then I realized there's only one source. God is the source. And so my blessings come through that one source. My blessings come through the true vine, right? So your book sales, let me bring it from me and bring it to you. Your book sales or your product sales, your opportunities come through that one source. So if you need more opportunities, where do you go, right? You go to the source and you ask, hey, how do I get more opportunities? And every time, I promise you, man, I say this all the time, the answers to our life's issues are found in the questions. All right.
Say that again. They didn't hear you.
I like that.
You say that again.
The answers in our life are found in our questions. Instead of asking, why am I broke? If you ask yourself, why am I broke? Your brain is going to tell you every reason why you're broke.
Yep.
If you ask yourself, how do I make more money? Guess what? Immediately, your brain's going to start telling you, you can do
How
this.
to make more money.
This. You can do that. And guess what we do? Oh, I ain't doing all that. Right?
You talk yourself out of it. Yeah.
Right, exactly. We don't realize that is actually God speaking to us. That's the source talking to you, telling you, answering your question.
Yeah,
we ignore it.
I like how that flow.
I mean, just look at it, Rosine. You were asking yourself, how can I make this marketing thing work? And here in this conversation, you start getting some answers. You attracted the question. You attracted the answers to the questions you've been asking, right? Yeah. It happens all day, every day. We just don't pay attention to it. We don't respect the process, man. So I don't know where that came from. I think I get on my rant.
Hey, that's what we here for, bro. Like this platform is for you to tell it all, man. Like we basically here, man, because we want you to be able to, you know what I'm saying, teach, talk, you know what I'm saying, and
man,
people know, you know what I'm saying, because I guarantee you, this conversation has helped a lot of people.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
Because a lot of times, like for me, for instance, when I go on my KDP on Amazon, and I might go through a week or two, and I'm like, my sales is good.
Yeah.
And I might go through 3 or 4 days. I'm like, man, what's going on? Ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Nothing popping right now. But the reflection is maybe I didn't do something I did the other 2 weeks when everything was you know what I'm saying, was going great. You get what I'm saying? So like I said, it's about staying on top of your game.
What are you doing every day? Do you do something every day?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I carved out time now to do something every day. You get what I'm saying? Because what happens is at some point in time I allowed life to interrupt what I was doing and get me off my game. But that's no excuse. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm gonna throw this out there. Sell your strengths and buy your weaknesses. Sell your strengths and buy your weaknesses.
Okay.
So if you can't personally do the LinkedIn thing, right? For example, I got a personal assistant. I got a virtual assistant who goes into my LinkedIn account daily, and for 2 hours, she's sending out a message that we've written up to my target audience, right?
Okay.
And every day or every other day, I'm getting new appointments on my calendar. So it's like if you were chopping down a tree and you only gave it one swing with the axe a day, how long would it take to chop down that tree, right? But what if you gave it 5 chops every day or 10 chops every day, right? So if you can't personally do it, and this goes for book sales just as well as it goes for business. If you can't personally get out there and prospect to find more buyers, find somebody who will do it for you. Because I promise you, it's a numbers game, period.
Yeah.
When I tell you it is a numbers game, all this little fancy stuff we do, when it comes down to it, it is a numbers game. The more people you can touch, the more people you can convert. So take a little money, maybe $10 an hour. Tell somebody, hey, if you can work 10 hours a week, I'll pay you $100. That's $10 an hour. We're trying to fight to get what? We still at $7 an hour minimum wage.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're paying above average, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of times we think it's like these big things, but really, if you can appreciate those little opportunities, $100 a week to get somebody who could probably bring in $1,000 a week, right? Is that not worth it?
Heck yeah. I see you writing that stuff down, Justice. Send me a copy. So listen, man. Hey. So we're coming up in an hour, so I want to throw this out there too. So are you still doing poetry?
I have not written poetry, but I am a poet at heart. Like it.
So let me ask you: do you have a catalog? That's my question.
No, I don't have a catalog.
Okay, good. So
I ain't even go front. I got to.
Look, well, reason why, because we're recruiting right now.
Okay.
Because Black Men's Inc. is about to have a versus challenge against Black Girls Inc.
Oh, really?
It's poetry.
Nah,
it's Black Inc. versus, and we looking for our squad right now. We got a couple. We need one more.
Look, man. So, y'all hear this little squeaky voice, man? I ain't got the voice for that.
But hey,
voice. Hey. Yeah, man, no, man, that ain't me.
So just so everybody know, keep your ears to the street for that, though.
Okay,
Black Ink versus is coming.
Awesome.
So, yeah, man. So check this out. Definitely. Hey, I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Appreciate it. Come on.
Definitely been a pleasure, man. And look, we get ready to do a panel here soon. So I would like to invite you back to the panel.
Absolutely.
We're definitely gonna need you on the panel, man. Kind of because a lot of guys we interview, some of them are seasoned, some of them are new, and I'm pretty sure you got a lot of information for seasoned and rookies. You know what I'm saying? And that definitely is going. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
And we built this platform so we can uplift our authors, man, to a point where they can uplift another author.
Yeah.
You know, and before you know it, we've built a culture or society to where, you know what I'm saying, we've learned to uplift one another. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely what we're here for, man. Yeah. So Justice, man, hey, before I let him do his outro, his promo, you got any other questions for him?
Nah, man. Once again, Tim, honestly, I always tell Roz, man, I wasn't excited. I'm like, I was like, you gotta publish. I said he's gonna be secretive. He's gonna be, and you were none of the above. And so once again, I apologize, Roz. I was wrong.
Is that why he was late?
You were like, man, whatever,
my brother. You were a true treasure, and I truly hope the gems that you didn't just dropped, I truly hope someone picked them up, man, because you gave $1 million worth of game for $9.99, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
You gave a lot of gems, brother, and I'm blessed to have you here. You know what I'm saying, and grace this platform, brother, because it ain't that many like you, man. It ain't that many. It ain't. And I love your energy. I love the way you just come across. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna be the last time we talk. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That's all I want to say. You know what I mean?
It's meant to be, man. It's meant to be. Like I said, we all grow together. That's what's supposed to be happening. You know?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be growing together.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I want to push it again, man. For those who are serious, this ebook is not for you if you just want to say, I wrote a book. But if you're serious about becoming an author, a successful author, please get that free ebook, truevinepublishing.org/5 practices. It's free. It's free. Now, I'm not a believer in free advice. Free advice is worth what you pay for it. But, you know, hey, if you're serious, I have a client that's about to work with me now. And she said she was putting it off until she read that book. When she read that book, it lit a fire under her. So I'm not saying that to boast. I'm telling you, after 17 years of being in this industry, that book is going to give you 5 core principles that successful authors and lucrative authors take seriously. And so please go in now, get the book. It's free, and enjoy it. Let me know if you have anything. You can reach me at truevinepublishing.org, truevinepublishing@gmail, Truevine Publishing on Facebook, Tim the Publisher on Instagram, Truevine Publish on Twitter. Look, Truevine Publish.
Truevine Publish. Hey, man, thank you for coming out, man. Definitely. It's been an honor, man. And like I said, you're now part of the Black Men's Inc. and Black Men's Inc. family. So go on there, put your links on there, man. Talk to our people. I'm pretty sure they're gonna talk to their people, and we're gonna keep this going, man. So look, I'm about to roll out. It's been your boy Rajeen, the King of Romance, author of the book Coma. Hey, go out and get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a pair number romance. If you can't see it, there you go. Hey, check it out. I'm chilling with my boy, with my man's the real man. Tell him, man.
Yeah, it's the man, the real Justice, man. We dropped a lot of gems, man. Hope y'all had y'all shovels, scooping them joints up, man.
All day, man. Hey, Justice, we're gonna take him out with that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's just go with it. Tim, thanks for coming, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Let's get out.
It's all about the power and the money and the fame. Get it out the concrete, that's how we made the name. Bow down, kiss the ring. Wear my flaws like a crown, that's why they call me the king. All about the power and the money and the fame. Get it out the concrete, that's how we made the name. Bow down, kiss the ring. Wear my flaws like a crown, that's why they call me the king. K-I-N-G, yeah, they gon' envy.